What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 87. That's right, 87. Got the red eyes from the smoke outside. It's very exciting. It's a very interesting time in Los Angeles. Hannah is in New York City. She has a funeral to attend. We look forward to seeing her back here next week. A lot has been going on. A lot has been going on in Los Angeles in the past week. I can only give you my perspective, not the one from the news. I can just tell you the truth as far as I'm concerned. Welcome to the few new followers I got from my last post. We're making it. We're going to get there. Whatever there is, we're going to get there. Whatever the point that makes me feel complete, whatever makes me feel whole, we will eventually get to that number of followers. And then I will cover myself in mayonnaise and roll around on shag carpet and pretend it is what it always is. That's right, a really good Wednesday. So let me explain Los Angeles. Los Angeles is no different from any other city to the extent that it's different than every other planet. Now, Los Angeles is the place where it's all about image and all about photography and the way things look. I mean, like, look at me, for example. I apologize in advance if I have ever victimized you with my beauty and put you in a state of uncomfort because of my hard looks and my soft affection. I apologize. I get it. I live in Los Angeles. That's what we do here. We victimize you with our photogenic approach. You get it. But let me explain Los Angeles. Los Angeles is all about how things look versus how they are. This is like the wet dream for the news. Not that they want devastation, because they don't. Not that they want tragedy, because they don't. But because they want people to not stop watching the news. They sensationalize it. They make it extra crispy, no pun intended. They make it exciting. They make you want to watch. And they're good at it. And during the past week, I've spent many times staring at a TV, waiting to see the percentage of fire containment to go from 8% to 11% to 14%. And I'm just like, I'm all in. I'm like, this is the best. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And it's literally interesting because outside is the reality that the world around you is burning towards you or further than you. You just wake up after sleeping with one eye kind of open, wondering, where is it going to be today? It's bad. It's bad, but I think Los Angeles is resilient, and I'm going to explain why, for whatever it's worth. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be a positive person. It's who I am. I'm a positive guy. I like to be positive. I'm a positive person who thinks positive stuff, and I get positive results because I have no choice. I can discuss it in depth, and I shall. Thank you for listening to the Newberg podcast. Bam. Los Angeles is the type of place where if you're jogging or walking or hiking, which is walking on an incline, people call it hiking because it's, you're going up, and it sounds sexier than I'm walking up a hill. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? But it's the hey, I'm going hiking. You're not. You're walking up a hill. There's no climbing involved. You're hiking. You're walking uphill. When I moved to Los Angeles, I was on Runyon Canyon, and Runyon Canyon, for the people who are aware of Runyon Canyon, is a park. It's a park that used to be owned by Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn donated it to the city. He was like, you know what? Take my house, take my land, take everything. It used to be a huge, vast estate. Now it's this park. And the park, in essence, is basically an opportunity to walk up a hill, stand out, have a fantastic view, and then walk back down. And there's dog shit everywhere. It's beautiful. So that's kind of a perfect example of Los Angeles. Shit everywhere, but it's really pretty. Okay, so I'm on Runyon and I'm walking up the hill, both ways. I'm just walking uphill both ways because I'm all about the story. And I see a bunch of people gathered around something, and they were taking pictures of a rattlesnake. They were taking pictures next to it. They were like, "Hey, here's me and the snake." Not running away from the poisonous snake. They were taking pictures next to it. So that's Los Angeles. They want to take pictures of it. Los Angeles is also the place where every year a certain comedy club donates donates meals on Thanksgiving and on Christmas, and it gives comedians an opportunity and famous people an opportunity to stand at the comedy club and work as they feed the less fortunate. And every year, it's a photo opportunity for the celebrities involved. There's publicists involved. There's placement of where you are in the line, like depending on how big of a celebrity you are, that's where you're positioned in the thing. Everyone takes pictures, like here I am helping the homeless, when in fact it's a unique situation for everybody involved. The owner of the comedy club is very generous. He pays for all this food. He also then has a news truck there. He makes sure that there's a news truck there getting the celebrities, and the celebrities are positioned. So now you got celebrities with mashed potatoes and whatever. And it's giving, no question. It's fantastic. Giving on any level is great. So I'm not pissing on any sort of like charity or any sort of work. I'm just trying to explain it. So now you have a fire situation where it's devastating. It's devastating to the point where people have lost everything. They've been unhoused. Their house still is okay, but they can't go back into the area because there's still a risk that they might lose it. There's people who are getting like 40% of the value of their home by insurance right away. Insurance companies are trying to pay out people immediately because they know they're not going to have money eventually to pay out everybody. And it's scary. So you have people donating. There's tons of donating opportunities. There's there's fire centers in Pasadena and near the Arcadia fire and near the Palisades, and you can go and you can volunteer your time and you can help out. You can sort clothes, you can do whatever. However, that also means that 99% of the people who do it take pictures. They're like, here's me helping out at the place where I do the thing, me, this is about me, it's a picture of me volunteering. Oh, I also look really cute. And there's part of me that's like, that's awesome that they helped. But there's also part of me that's like, so just, it's like those videos where there's that guy like, hey, watch me give this homeless guy money and then a sandwich and then put him on camera. It's like, motherfucker, just give him the sandwich. Can you imagine being the homeless guy and someone comes up, sticks a fucking camera in your face and he puts their body next to you and they're like, yeah, guess what, man? It's me. Haha, I'm helping this homeless guy. Fuck off. I mean, just help them. Just help them. I mean, I've helped in ways that I can. I haven't recorded it, but I've also been the guy in the past who's done that. And I suppose with age comes wisdom, and the unnecessary feeling of helping is fine. Talking about helping is not necessary. Just help. But I really appreciate it. I made a post. Shout out to those who volunteer and don't post about it. And I've gotten some grief from the people who are like, fuck that, man. Helping out is cool. Good for you. Get all those likes on your page. And I've gotten people who are like, totally. It's okay to help. Helping's amazing. Help if you can. Donate to the Red Cross. Donate to the Palisades Fire, United Way, Airbnb, LA Food Bank, however you want to do it. But then just feel good about yourselves. You don't need me to tell you great job but if you do, I get that. That's why I do comedy. I don't write jokes because I think I'm funny. In my head, I need someone to go, ha, that was funny. Ha, ha, ha. I need it. We all need what we need. So because we need what we need, we do what we do. And I respect it, but I'm going to give some people shit because you should have some people giving you shit. But it's not mean-spirited and in no way means I want you to stop. So therefore, my situation is right now is this. Not working. No idea what's going to happen with the industry. Doesn't seem to be a lot of stuff going on. It's frightening. And I look at my different comic friends and I saw a post today that said, my house burned down, so I'm going on tour until I can feasibly like figure things out. The last part is, the main part is, my house burned down, I'm going on tour. Yikes. Everything gone in a second. We talked about I talked about my experience last week where in an instant I was chose to whatever, but I'm okay. We're lucky. We're so lucky. There's going to be a huge like housing crisis in Los Angeles. Right now, we're okay. We're okay. And I feel thankful for that. But that said, on my level, it's like I know people who've lost homes. I know people who lost 3 homes. And it's like there's celebrity's strange, and success is strange. We all wish for our friends to have success, and we all want people to win. Or the older that we get, if you're human, why wouldn't you want anyone to win? Because you know how hard the struggle is for yourself. But you get to a point where you're like, fuck them. Their house should burn down. Like people, like when you talk about the celebrities, not me. I'm talking about like you know the example. You want to be a celebrity because if you're in the entertainment business, the goal is to succeed, have people know who you are, consume your brand, consume your product, pay to see the movies you're in, go to your concerts, all the stuff. That's what you want. And we as consumers, we love that talent. We love the people who are good at what they do, and we watch it. But then their house burns down. We're like, ha ha! It's the bizarrest thing. Why do people do that? What's the purpose? I don't get it. Anyways, my situation is right now, straight up, I'm not working. I want to work. I haven't worked since August. What do you call it? Hollywood Squares airs tomorrow on the 16th. I'm hoping that's a hit. I'm hoping it's a hit. Hoping there's a season 2. I have no idea. Do I think anyone cares about watching a game show during the fires? I don't think so. Is there places other than California where people still consume stuff? I hope so. I don't know. I only know about what I know about. I was really looking forward to January to being back to work. I'm not. It's tough. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know something's going to happen. Something always happens. We're never dealt a hand or something that we can't handle. And I can only base that on proof for every single situation in my life. There's no time in my past that I've never been in the shittiest situation where I haven't prevailed and come through. In 2011, when I was unhoused, I was literally probably the poorest I've been, to put things into perspective. And I'm not crying poor. I'm talking about bad situations and the resiliency of humans and how good we are at getting through the things that we get through. Yes, the news sensationalizes. What are we going to do? What's this going to be about? But the reality is we're all pretty strong. We're all pretty smart. We're all pretty capable. Not everyone, when I say all, but I'm saying as a society, as a human, we figure it out. At least that's my perspective. That's what I'm familiar with. 2011, when I was homeless, when I was crazy homeless, this is how homeless I was. I remember crashing on different comics friends' floors and houses when they were on the road. And I remember this one time, and I was like, hey, this is going to be great. And I'd given up my place because my choice was be able to afford my car or to be able to afford my apartment. And I figured it was a lot easier to hide my car if I didn't have a place, that the repo people couldn't find it. So I was bouncing from place to place. I was staying at this comedian's house, and I was like, I'm going to make money today. I don't know how, but I'm going to make money so I can have a good weekend. And I went for a walk, and I was near this cash store where the cash checks in Hollywood. And I saw $37 on the ground, and I was like, holy shit, now I can have the best weekend of my life. $37. I remember buying a little tiny airplane bottle of tequila, a sandwich, and some soap. And I was so happy. And then, of course, when my friend came back in town, I went to my car, tried to start it, and the battery was dead. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was nuts. So there was times when I didn't have a place to crash and times when I did and times when my battery was dead. And I was like, I live here today. But I figured it out. And I remember during that period of time, it was so embarrassing. I remember selling something on Facebook called the music package. And I would say, hey, any song I've ever recorded, if you want it, pay any price and I'll send it to you. And it was because I had that was all I had. That was the only income. People were like, why didn't you work? Because I didn't have a reliable vehicle to get to a car, to get to a job, because I didn't want to do anything else other than what I agreed and committed to do. And I had blind faith that I would be okay. When COVID happened and the industry shut down for 2 years, I got through it. We all got through it. With the exception of the people who did not get through it, they are not listening to this show. They are not affected or upset by what I said. If you have loved ones who didn't make it, I'm so sorry for you. But I'm just saying we got through it. Then afterwards, the writer's strike, we got through it. And now the city melting, we're going to get through it. The support locally has been insane. The devastation has been massive, and the resilience is through the charts. You're dealing with a community of people who moved here to struggle, to make it, to do good things, to try and win, or now just told you have to. It's not like a what if scenario. If you want to stay, you got to figure it out. And shout out and props to everyone who was able to figure this out moving forward, because I, for one, I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm also kind of ready for it, whatever that may be. I'm going to figure out a way to earn. That's what I do. It's what I've always done. And I'm excited about it. Uh, and I'm also scared for people because it sucks. It's so depressing. There's no possible way we're going to be able to figure out the monumental devastation in our brains and all of the different things that we're going to have to change around. There's a lot of shit. You have people blaming politics. Like, what? It was a fire. You have people saying it was mismanaged. It was a fire. There was 100-mile-an-hour winds. It was 80-mile-an-hour winds. You couldn't. It's just, shut up. You don't stop blaming people. Shit happens sometimes. And when it does, literally all you can do is get through it. You got to go through it to get through it. Right now, we're going through it. And that's me. That's my optimistic approach. Maybe that's my blue collarness. Maybe that's my grandmother raising me to be like, you got to work, you got to work, you got to work. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me just because I enjoy to do what I need to do. I haven't been eating awesome in the past couple of days, but I stopped that 2 days ago, got on the right path again. Let's see, what else have I done to try to deal? I took 2 days to just kind of sit on the couch and be like, what happened? What's going on? But I'm off the couch and, back on my yoga, back on my walking. Although it's hard to walk right now because the air is allegedly poison and you have to wear a mask again. And it sucks because the sky is blue in the air and it's 70 degrees outside and everything's clear and everything's amazing, but the air sucks and it's terrible. And I know this because I went for a walk yesterday and my eyes are all red and I'm all sniffly and it's kind of devastating. On a sad note, or on an optimistic note, depending on how you choose to look at it, I posted on my page a missing persons post from a gentleman I went to high school with, Kevin Devine. Kevin was not a close friend. He was not an enemy. He was in a couple of my classes. He was a year older. He was nice. He was nice to me. I don't have anything to say about it really, other than we went to high school together and he was nice. He's missing. Apparently he was in the Altadena fire and he was in his car in the last scene at like 10 o'clock on Tuesday of last week. Yikes. I hope to God everything works out for him. If you know anything, please contact the information on my page. I don't know. It's just prayers up, right? And there's just so many of those situations, and you hear about all of these different people who are just going through it, and all you can do is think, how can I do what I need to do? And also, why does it feel weird to live normal in this life? Like, there's so many people doing so many different things. Like, is it right to, everybody the other day, a female sex worker reached out to me and she's like, are you doing okay during the fires? And I'm like, what? She's like, are you doing okay during the fires? And I was like, yeah, I guess I'm doing fine. She's like, here's my tits. And she sends me boobs. And she's like, it's been a tough time. I'm like, Jesus, good for you, lady. Like, if that's how you're helping out, you're sending boobs to people, that's the best that you know what to do, then good for you. Somebody's probably like, gosh, I don't have a how. Boobs. Boobs are cool. I like boobs. Somebody's thinking that. She's helping out somebody. And good for her efforts. And there's people promoting shows, which you have to. You can look at it from two different perspectives. Ugh, that's so ugly. That's so about you. Well, they lost everything. Now they don't have any money, and now they have to win. So, yeah, they're going to post about their shows. Like, well, I don't really want to go to a show anymore because I lost everything, but I could use a laugh. There's so many different schools of thought. So I don't really judge people who are posting thirst traps because there's tons. There's people who still need to be validated with their nakedness, and there's still people who need to be validated with their comedy, and there's still people who need to be insensitive with their envelope pushing posts. Like some fuckface the other day posted half off Hollywood tour because there was a bunch of burned houses in the background. And then I saw, and I was just like, fuck you. Like, do you really, what kind of thrill do you get at the devastation from like just kicking? Like, I don't, but at the same time, I know none of those people are looking at Facebook and seeing that post. Like, nobody who lost their house is sitting around looking at Facebook and going, gosh, I hope I'm not offended by some of these jokes. None of it. No, you're in it. Like I talked about it last week when we were evacuated and I was going through it. If somebody had jokes like, he's look at him run it, great, good for you. I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to be safe. I'm trying to be alive. The people who you're posting about and making fun of, they don't give a fuck about your joke. They don't. They want to live. They want to rebuild. They want to move forward. They want to get through this. It's just like they want to create new memories. They want to survive. They want to like not be traumatized. They don't care about your joke. Oh, another one I saw, burnt pizza and said California pizza. Come on, man. Just like try. Make it like, oh, isn't that really cool? You've lost everything. Listen, I get the people die. I get the people have tragedy. I get the people get sick. We're all on a course. No one's leaving the world alive. We're all doing our own thing. We all have our crazy, weird phobias and our strange, different quirks. But you don't need to do that. You just don't and I'm also worried about like how much longer after the fire stopped that people just shift away from California. It's not going to be any different than North Carolina with all the flooding that happened. What did they talk about that? 3 days, 4 days? It's been like, what do they say? 10-day nation. 10-day nation. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, back to sports, Brent. It's like, I'm looking forward. I mean, like as crazy it is outside with the weather and all the tragedy, I'm looking forward to the Lions game at 5 p.m. Or 8 p.m. on Saturday. Looking forward to it. Like it's the only thing I have to look forward to. I'm crazy about it. I'm so excited because it's like, oh my gosh, Detroit, woohoo, let's do this. And it gives me something to look forward to. I would bet that all of the people who are in the situations that they're in have something to look forward to and are going to figure it out. And I love that. I don't love that they have to figure it out. I don't love that they have to go through it. I love that they're going to figure it out. 9/11, they figured it out. They got New York, came back stronger, got through it. And it's just like every devastating tragedy, people got through it. I had a hangnail once in like, I don't know, 9th grade. It really hurt. I got through it. Am I complaining 9/11 to a hangnail? To some. But it's just because I'm uncomfortable with talking about so much intense shit that I've got to talk about my nails. I'm a nail model. It's obvious. It's so obvious. I'm a hand model. But like I was saying, people do. I had mixed emotions and thoughts and crazy feelings about it at first. Like I wasn't sure. Like I don't know if the industry is going to come back, but I really think it's going to. I think it's going to come back better and stronger than ever. I think initially you're going to see a kickstart from the studios. I think the studios are going to be like, we got a lot of down people here. Let's create content. Let's create game shows that give people an opportunity to dream, to take one swing of the bat and get back in the game. Let's do contests where people can win $1 million and they can maybe get their life back in order. Let's do television shows that distract people and remind them that it's okay to laugh or cry during these situations. They're going to make content. So I think a lot of people are going to go back to work short term. And I hope it ends up being a long-term thing. There's going to be Netflix who's going to be like, let's do a fire documentary. Of course they are, because that's Netflix. Burp. And Netflix is going to do what they're going to do. A lot of people are going to do what they're going to do. There's going to be people in talks right now at networks who are like, how long till we can get some fire content out? Let's talk about this. No. We've seen enough. We've watched. If 9/11 has proven anything, we've seen enough. We don't. But people are going to make jokes. They're going to make fire jokes. They're going to make jokes like, oh, the fire festival wasn't as devastating as people thought. They're going to make jokes. They're going to make 9/11 jokes. They're going to. It's just who we are as a society. But that's the beauty of it. Some jokes you can laugh at and some jokes you can be like, fuck you. But either way, they're just jokes, respectfully. They're just whatever. But as I've been trying to say for 4 minutes, I'm trying to like hold off like sneezing and coughing. Because again, the air, woohoo, is people are going to do what they need to do during these times. and it's going to vary from thing to thing to thing. I'm going to write jokes because I need to. It's my mental health. It's what I need to do. It's not the less fortune of anyone else. It's not political, but some of them might be political. I don't know. And some of them might be, I don't know, but I need to vent. I need to, that's how I let off steam. That's how I pop the zit that is my brain. I have to do it, which leads me to believe some people are going to talk about them. They're going to talk about what they need to do to survive. They're going to talk about, hey, this is my show, come see my show. And maybe if you're in a situation to support somebody, do so. Go to their show. If you're in a situation to help others, help others. Listen, I would love to sit here and be like, "Oh my gosh, this is my show. Please help me. I'm so." But I'm listen. Red Cross, like wherever you want to donate, those people. There's people who are way less fortunate. I'm worried, but I'm not desperate. I'm having to create a concept as to how I'm going to get through this. I promise you, I'll get through this because that's what I do. But don't be so mad at the people who are going through and doing what they need to do. Like the girl who's shaking her jugs and she's all like, "Hey, look at me," and I'm dancing and whatever. She needs to do that. She's got to do it. People who are punching people in the nuts because that's their brand, nut punching. They got to do it. People are going to post fights. They're going to post them giving. They're going to be posting them at a donation center. They're going to be posting whatever helps them get through it. I support all of it. You've got to support all of it because you have no choice, really. By the way, if you enjoy the show, if you like the Newberg podcast, please follow us on YouTube at Newberg Pod. And please like and subscribe. If you're a company like Chips Ahoy that wants to sponsor the show, let's do it. If you're anybody who wants to advertise on the show, let me just tell you, you're kind because we only get about 1,000 people an episode, but that's 1,000 people. So if you want to advertise, reach out, message me, the Chris Army at gmail.com. If you want to support the show, if you want to, I don't know what happens if you hit the CAPTCHA, but you can go to, I think it's paypal.com/the Chris Army or Venmo, the Chris Army. But listen, that's only if you've supported way other people first, because that's important. The important thing is that I'm allowed to come on here once a week or whenever I'm feeling like it and entertain you and try to keep you updated and filled in on what's happening. And that's all I can do is just talk about my perspective and hope that it relates and connects. But I can tell you, I am going to stay optimistic and I am going to be positive and I am going to be hopeful and I am going to have faith in my talent, my ability, the situations and the things that are surrounding in the universe and that are present in all of our lives, because this is a balance. This is not sent at us without there being something coming back up on the pendulum. Like you just got to know, like there was a comedian I know who always talked about like the pendulum swinging back and forth. And he was like, life doesn't go this far or this way unless it comes back this way. You just got to know when to grab on and catch it for the right way. And I believe that. And I believe that situation. And I've had many good things that have happened to me since I was sitting in my friend's apartment selling my songs on Facebook to anybody who had money. And so many things have come back. And I've had so many incredible wins since then. And I've done so many great things. And I've had losses that balance, and everything balances. And there's all these ebbs and flows. It's the same thing in all of our lives. We all get through it. Look back on your existence right now. Regardless of whether or not you're where you are, or whether or not you have a plan to where you want to be, you got through it. You literally got through whatever it was you're going through. All the shittiest times in your life. Remember when you were in school and you were like, "Oh, Margaret doesn't like me," or "I'm getting in detention," or you're in college and you're like, "Oh, I got a DUI and I really shouldn't have stolen all the bras from the fat guy's drawer," or you get fired from your job and you're like, "I don't know what I'm going to do." Like you got through it. You're right here. You're right now. You're in this moment. This is where you are. You're going to get through it. You're going to figure it out. Stay positive. Stay optimistic. It's really your only choice. Or you can sit down and be like, "Boo me. I'm so sad." Those are your choices. I love everybody. I appreciate y'all. If I say anything that offends you, reach out to me and tell me about it. We'll talk it through. If I don't, I guess I didn't do my job as offending people. But I look forward to having Hannah back next week. Going to have some great guests this year. Going to do our best to move forward. I hope to see you then. Until then, I'm going to go strangle the dude who's been vacuuming outside my door since 6 o'clock in the morning. Not really, but that's what that person needs to do. That person's like, I need to vacuum. And I'm like, thank you for choosing my door.